Trapmore gang, if you've been following the channel for quite some time, you'll know quite a lot about the deadly gang wars in Jacksonville. But if you don't know, okay, there was a major, I don't know if I want to say milestone, but, you know, a moment that a lot of people that followed Jacksonville drill for many years knew was coming for a long time, and it finally happened recently, okay? KSoo and ATK Scotty, but I mean KSoo most notoriously, was sentenced to life in prison for the 2020 murder of Charles McCormick, aka Lil Buck, one of the rivals of the ATK or the Aces top killer gang in Jacksonville. Obviously, this crew is notorious for the rapper Young and Ace. Ace's top killers, these are his shooters, all right? These are his guys that was putting in work for him. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, really, if you're thinking about the safety of the community, KSoo will not be touching the streets again anytime soon. But what was the most controversial about his trial was really the fact that it was his own father, Blue, right, another alleged, known gangster from the older generation in Jacksonville, who actually took the stand and testified against his own flesh and blood, his own son. All right. And his father, Abdul Robinson Sr., known in the streets as Blue, he ended up actually himself getting time served. He basically got no repercussions in the situation, and he slid and he skated. It's actually crazy, okay? See if we can get a little reaction to this.
Abdul Robinson Sr., the father of Akeem Robinson, also known as Jacksonville rapper KSoo, was sentenced today in connection with the 2020 shooting death of Charles McCormick Jr. Robinson Sr. was sentenced to 1,898 days in prison, which is the time he has already served. That will be followed by 2 years of community control with electronic monitoring, then followed by 3 years of probation. Robinson will be released today.
So years of probation and monitoring. It seemed like the judge really said, you've kind of suffered enough. Like sending your own son down the river like that. That's kind of, you're going to be feeling that one yourself. You've done enough time in prison. Was it over 1,000 days, 1,800 days? All right, basically time served, the exact amount of days that he had served in the lead up to this trial. It had been quite a long time. This murder happened in 2020. All of this, Who I Smoke, Young and Ace, ATK versus KTA, Folio stuff, this all happened years ago, okay? And he got his 1,898 days. And really, it was really sad, all right? He basically pleaded guilty to helping his nephew, Neroy Litica, and Dominique Barna escape after the murder. And as part of the deal, he had to testify against KSoo. Okay, it was really sad. During the trial, Barna also testified that he, Robinson, KSoo, and Robinson's brother, Abdul Robinson Jr., and Whitaker went to where McCormick lived to devise a plan for the murder, and that all of them wanted to kill McCormick. Okay? It was just a really sad situation. Okay, but it's gotten worse, all right? He said the reason for telling was so that he could be released in time to spend time with his younger children, all right? Basically telling stories about his 8-year-old daughter wanting him to attend a father-daughter dance. His 6-year-old son wanting to play football with his father. And basically said he had health concerns. He might not live that much longer. He's got diabetes, failing kidneys, congestive heart failure. He's got a lot on his mind, all right? And arguably, KSoo was going down anyway. Let's be real. KSoo was going down anyway. Now, obviously, that doesn't make it any better. That doesn't make it okay to see your own father take the stand against you like that. Is going to be very heartbreaking, okay? And KSoo would clap back after his father kind of, was publicly revealed to be snitching on him. He said he wanted a DNA test. He said, ain't no way that's my daddy. He said, we need to take a blood test because this F dude ain't my daddy. I wasn't even raised by that man. If I was, I'll be praising a rat like the rest of his kids. So he's saying I wasn't even raised by him. He ain't do nothing for me, okay? I don't know if this is before or after, but this is Blue giving his thoughts on the situation.
They say I better leave Jacksonville if I want to. See, I'm Muslim. We understand. The only way to meet God is through the graveyard. See, we love death like y'all love life. That's going to give me the odds all the time. Because y'all don't want to die. It don't matter to me. They say I better leave.
So he's saying, people saying he better leave Jacksonville. I believe the judge even inferred he already had a death sentence in that people in the streets would want to get him down. And he has seemingly decided to at least stick around, stay online, stay doing his thing. He's now a free man, okay, and he's now taking his story on the road. He's been doing interviews with Say Cheese and DJ Vlad to tell his story and explain, or at least justify the reasoning for telling on his own son. And I'm not going to lie, I've talked previously about how I feel about this situation. There's a little part of me that kind of gets why he did this. He's got other children. He wants to spend time with his other children. He needs to set a good example. Okay, he's letting them other kids know if there's any nonsense, daddy will put you away for life. All right, and I'm not even trying to make light of that situation. Like this, I would doubt any of his other kids are going to be picking this lifestyle after the way that KSoo went out. But it is definitely, I don't have a kid. I'm not sure if I want kids, but like, if my kid's out here commit murder, I might have to put them away. But then they're saying that Blue was actually in the streets like that, and he was kind of getting his son to slide. So in a Say Cheese interview, Blue actually admitted that he himself jumped off the porch earlier and was out in the streets slanging crack at the age of 15.
So when do you get into the crack game?
I got into the crack game about that time.
About
right
that
there.
time.
Yeah.
So that was the introduction.
Small part crack, you know what I'm saying? $100 pieces, $50 slabs and shit like that. You know, I'm cutting it down. I'm hustling over in a white area. You know, so if I got a $10 rock, I can take it over there and sell it for 20. Mm-hmm. You know, like that right there. So I go to pop him a thing like that right there. Then the area I was hustling in, it was right down the street from my school, so I could leave school, go straight to the block. And that's what I started doing.
So this is around 15, 17?
Yeah, up in there, 15,
okay. So,
16.
Okay, so you're introduced to the game and you're investing $100, $50 here and there.
Yeah.
Small timing.
Yeah.
So look, I ain't gonna lie, I see him in a few of these interviews, he's feeling himself, right? He got the beard shaped up, he got the iced out NHG, that's No Hospital Gang chain. I'm hearing the No Hospital Gang members ain't feeling him wearing that chain, all right? The whole No Hospital Gang was making sure that people died before they even got a chance to be rushed to hospital. Bruh, the man that told on his own son, that was putting those people to death in the streets before they could make it to the hospital, bruh, you shouldn't be claiming No Hospital Gang, really. You should be claiming Hospital Gang and Stand Gang. You should be TTSG, Take the Stand Gang, okay? And that just is what it is, right? But I don't know if that's KSoo. He's got the Draco on there in the link as well. That's actually crazy that he's even wearing that. Now, he would break down more of his backstory and basically explain that he would graduate from selling, $50, $100 slabs of crack to hitting a huge lick when he got into the robbery game at the age of 20, and apparently that set him up financially.
I might have been about 20, and I think the lick was, I might have been about 20, 21. I hit the lick for probably 180.
1,000?
Yeah. And
At what age were you?
I probably 20, 21. Okay. So I hit the lick for the dude put me up on it, that they all put their money together and they all go down. So the dude put me up on where the dude stayed at and everything. So I sat on the dude. I sat on the dude for about 3-4 days, catch him slipping, take him in the house, tell him where the shit at. So when I get him, take him in the house, I tell him, wait, hey man, get that shit. He playing like it ain't nothing. His old lady in the house, his kid in the house. I'm young though, I ain't got no respect for none of that. So I tell the dude on purpose, man, I know where you keep the shit at in the couch. One of your homeboys put me up on this lick. I let him know, because I'm trying to start the deception in the circle, because my whole plan is I'm going to buck on the guy who put me on the lick. This is my break.
So listen, right, now you're starting to understand why this guy told on his own son. When he hit his first big lick when he was 20, right, he's having somebody's setting up this guy to get robbed of $180,000. He's busted in the house and he's saying, your homeboy told me that you keep your stuff in the couch. He's telling on his guy that put him onto the lick that's telling on his friend. Everybody's a snake in this scenario. And I'm not justifying it, but this is the scenarios that this guy's, his first big lick, 180,000, he's getting put onto a lick, and then he's telling on the guy. You can't be trusted. You tell on people, to the guys you're robbing, you're telling on your own son in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even trust KSoo's dad with the front end of an interview. I'm not gonna lie.
In the game. So once I put that in the air, I get the lick. Everything goes smooth. I lay the dude down. I lay his old lady down. They got the baby down. I get up out of there. I hit the lick by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah. So that kind of put me up on my feet. But I go buy it wrong, because I go buy a Bronco. I go buy a Chevy. I go down south. I buy jewelry, Nugget watch, Nugget bracelet. I buy all this shit. The image. It's just like the rap game. You got to look a certain way to make certain things happen.
Got to look like money to make money.
Right. I mean, who going to go talk to a bum about some money?
So he's saying that he hit $180,000 lick and immediately blew through all of it and attracted all this attention to himself, okay? Now, the crazy thing about Blue, all right, that you might not know, is that he was apparently deadly in the streets himself. So in the year 2000, okay, he would apparently get indicted and charged with several murders, all right? Look at this. How crazy is this, right? This crazy, crazy, crazy situation. It says, grand jury returns 26-count indictment against the sheriff's office. All right. A federal grand jury has returned a 26-count indictment after an investigation into allegations that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and its associates were involved in crimes, including robbery and murder. Okay. This is actually insane. So it says that, like, the cops, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, okay, JSO, and you remember there used to be a catchphrase, JSO loves KSoo, because he was creating so many murders for them. Well, it turns out, all right, they are saying that, you know what I'm saying, KSoo's dad back in the day, there was something a little fishy going on, okay? Look, read this, right? It says, one of the crimes being investigated is the robbery and slaying of Sammy Saphir, a Jacksonville convenience store owner who was found dead July the 4th, 1998, a day after withdrawing $50,000 from a South Trust Bank, the Florida Times-Union reported in Wednesday editions. A second unsolved homicide, the July 10th, 1998 shooting of Jeffrey Reed, was also reviewed. Other cases include the May 15th, 1998 attack of Safar's nephew, who was robbed of $50K in the bank's parking lot, and a robbery and attempted robbery in 98 involving men who identify themselves as police dressed in police garb. The grand jury looked into allegations that at least one police officer was accepting payoffs for providing info to drug dealers. All right? So a bunch of officers were fired, but then look at this, all right? The 14 men and 6 women on the grand jury met for 3 hours before voting on the indictment. They'd been meeting for 15 months. The case led the grand jury investigation... the case that led to it began more than 18 months ago when narcotics detectives started to suspect that one of their own was passing on information about cases. In the summer of 1999, the police developed additional suspicions that there had been what Glover told the Times-Union was a breach of confidence among his officers. And here it is. On August the 27th, 1999, police arrested 3 drug dealers, Abdul Blue Robinson, that's KSoo's daddy, and 2 other men. The 3 decided to cooperate with prosecutors in hopes of getting less time. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new, right? It says Bates gave the police details about the dealings of Robertson and Smith and got 7 years in prison. Robinson and Smith told authorities they were paying off at least one officer for information about drug cases. Robinson got 21 years in prison, and Smith, who eventually stopped cooperating, got 30 years. Is it telling if you tell on the cops? This is one of the craziest things I've seen in this case. But, okay, our guy, Blue, he would speak about these old charges, okay? And according to him, he actually claims that he beat these charges due to lack of evidence, but that doesn't quite match up with what a lot of other people have said.
You were charged for 3 murders?
Yeah, 3. It was 4, but it was them separate situations.
These are all separate murders?
Yeah.
And does any of this have to do with the drugs?
Come on, Blue.
I mean, what kind of guy was Blue? Were you the type of guy that want to get people out the way when you felt disrespected back then?
Nah, man, I'm a good dude, man.
Come on.
I'm a real good dude, man, you know? And once people get to know me, I'm the type of person, I match your energy. You an asshole, I'm an asshole. You know, you cool, I'm cool. You know, I'm the type of dude that ain't gonna let nobody in the projects go without Christmas. Mm-hmm. Ain't gonna let nobody go hungry. Ain't gonna let nobody get thrown out. You know, that's the type of dude I am.
So, how do you beat these murders?
Charges dropped.
Was it self-defense?
Just insignificant evidence. Yeah.
I don't know if that's the whole picture.
I mean, because we see these documentaries, and of course the situation with KSoo, we'll get to that, but they say, and I guess you were on during the trial, I guess the prosecutor tried to paint the picture that you told back in the day to get out of something else. Did that have anything to do with the murders?
No, I never told back. I never told. I got co-defendants on every one of those cases, and they out there right now being a dad and a granddaddy. I never told. See, we.
So, I guess it doesn't count if you tell on the cops. I guess it doesn't count if you tell. I don't know.
We're gonna jump around. We're gonna address that. See, what happened was the streets they dumb because they said that I was a CI, paid CI. Mm-hmm. Wait, the motherfucker that I put in jail. Don't you think he would have came out by now and said that I put him in jail? I ain't never put no motherfucking body in jail. You know, they said that.
So look, it is what it is, all right? But we can move on from that, okay? You get the gist. You get what's going on with this one, okay? And Blue, he did what he supposed to do, man. He did what he supposed to do, clean the dream, man. Okay, he got some people out the way, and then he got himself out the way, all right? And it's treacherous, man, but hey, he had to do what he had to do. Now, what's really interesting, okay, is he would claim in his Vlad TV interview, once he got out of jail after these serious charges, Okay, he managed to maneuver his way out of it. That's when his son's street conflicts, everything going on with this younger generation of gangsters in Jacksonville, that's when his life ended up getting more dangerous because of the shit that his son and Young and Ace and Fulio and them were getting into. Listen to this.
Do your 11 years, you get out at age 40 in 2011, and you get reintroduced to your kids, who at this point are wild.
Wow. Wild is an understatement.
Okay, explain.
Well, when I got out, I have another son. He was doing his thing too, and they was into all kind of shit, And before I went to prison, I could walk down my grandmother's street. When I got out of prison and I came to my grandmother's house, and I was walking down the street, and they was like, "Daddy, you can't do that no more." I said, "What? I can't walk down my grandma's street?" They said, "No, you can't do that no more. It's a whole lot going on that you don't know."
It's actually crazy when you think about it, right? He was out here allegedly killing people, bribing the cops, causing absolute havoc, and he manages to skate and get away with it. And then his own children, he comes back out, he's got bodies, and his own children are saying, "Yo, Daddy, you can't walk down the street like that no more. We got a whole lot going on out here." He's like, "I had a whole lot. What do you mean you got a whole lot going on?" But the streets of Jacksonville, they just got worse and worse and worse. And this new generation, he wasn't even ready for it.
So, I listened to him, and I got off the street. Simple as that, And they was into a lot of things that I don't want to really mention, but it immediately put my life in danger. Just by me being their father, by me having a reputation, I had to move a whole different way. I had to adjust everything in my life, because what I didn't realize is that they were already the man who they was going to be at that young age. Smoking cigarettes, getting high, doing everything.
It's actually crazy. It's mind blowing. Okay, so he said his kids got so out of control, he came out of jail, and basically, he said, "Bro, they had too much going on. I had to move differently. They were right. I couldn't." He's the OG with bodies that's come out, and now his kids are telling him, "Yo, Pops, you can't be on that street. We got too much going on." And he's saying, "I had to listen to them, and they were right." Now, what's really crazy, okay, and this is one of the really worst inciting incidents in the Jacksonville gang war and the drill community. Everybody kind of knows about this incident. It's very famous. It happened in 2017. This is when Fulio's cousin, Zion Brown, was killed, and Young and Ace and them were targeted in retaliation. Now, there was rumor that it was maybe some kind of home invasion. Fulio's cousin Zion ends up getting killed. There's been rumors that Ace maybe had something to do with something, or maybe he was friends with the person that whatever, okay? But there was retaliation, and Ace became a marked man, okay? And Blue basically says, after this tragic incident happened where Ace became a very much wanted man, that's when Ace came around KSoo and he needed that muscle.
It was just going so far. And in a sense, I'm not going to say that my son and Fulio, not KSoo, but Crazy K and Boss Goon, they kind of they almost like cousins, because Fulio got some sisters that his sisters is my son and them cousins, for real. So I think that they might have been all right at one time until once my son and them really got affiliated with Ace, that's when when you pick a side, you on that side. That's as simple as that.
Well, yeah, because in 2018, a shooting happened where Young and Ace was shot 8 times, and 3 people in the car were killed, including his brother, Trayvon Bullard, as well as Jacoby Grover and Royale Devon Smith Jr. All 3 of them were killed. Young and Ace survived, but he saw a very gruesome situation.
Right.
And you actually met Ace after that shooting.
Right. That's when I started seeing Ace come around. He started coming to my house, things of that nature right there.
So it was after that shooting and after that serious incident when Ace started coming around, okay? And according to Blue, when time went on, okay, with a little bit of time, that's basically when his sons KSoo and Crazy K basically became Young and Ace's muscle, his shooters, all right? KSoo make your face go. He doing that for Ace. ATK is Ace's top killers. KSoo is Ace's top. He is ATK. KSoo is ATK.
So people say that your sons KSoo and Crazy K were the muscles for ATK.
Well, Ace had to come over there to that side. He was running with some dudes from out west. They weren't strong enough for that situation. So he had to move to that side. KSoo and Crazy K, they made it where ATK can move around the world like how they move around the world. When you go to ATK, they respect KSoo. They respect Crazy K. So they got to respect Ace because them his homeboys.
So we even seen KSoo backstage with King Von back in the day, and no doubt that was a situation created by Young and Ace and them. Having KSoo and the shooters and all of these guys on his side, that's what made people scared of Ace. They wasn't, and there's no disrespect, okay? But it's like, Ace went through some serious stuff. That stuff was harder to make happen when you had someone like KSoo on the team. That's all I'm going to say, okay? I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but that is what it is, all right? Now, as time went on, more and more real situations would happen, and that was when the January 15th, 2019 shooting of Blue himself, Blue got hit, all right? His two sons, his nephew, and others, they were all ambushed in the shooting, and I believe he did actually lose one of his sons.
Right, so it was you, who is Abdul's nephew.
Yes.
Abdul himself. There was Willie Addison Jr., a.k.a. Boss Goon Jr. There was Crazy K. There was Moody and Red Dot.
Correct.
Okay, so what happens when you guys start leaving the strip club?
As we got off on a street called at a Spring Park off of Emerson, as we got up to the light, cars pulled up on us and opened fire.
How many shots were fired?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. But it was a lot.
I was told it was over 100.
Right, because everyone in the car got shot 7-8 times at least.
Yeah.
So over 100 shots got fired.
Right.
Both of you guys were in the car. What was going through your heads as this was happening?
Well, me, as I heard the first shot, I jumped up and was gonna push my cousin Crazy K out of the car. But I got hit in the back and I lost feeling. And then as I looked down, I seen him on the floor. I took my body and put it on top of his so he wouldn't get shot anymore.
Okay, Abdul, what were you going through at that time?
It's just so sad, man. You know, he said that the car got shot up 100 times. Nearly everyone got shot like 7 or 8 times in the car. Everyone's getting shot a bunch of times. And they're really lucky more people didn't pass away in the incident.
Well, I mean, in a situation like that, I don't really panic. So I had to keep myself together because I felt like I was responsible for everybody at that time. And it was just like, damn, they shooting. And so I tried to pull off. I think I kind of bumped into him or hit him or something like that, trying to bump into him. And once I'm hearing the shots, then I see Boss Goon get shot. And he kind of like went up. But when he came down, he was kind of like on the floor leaning over the seat. So I'm like, you good, but he's not responding back. But I'm driving at the same time, trying to watch the road, trying to watch what's going on. And I mean, fuck nigga must have shoot some little guns or something, really, to be honest with you. They pull up on the side of us, shoot that many times and don't kill but one person in the car. And
I mean, look, all right, he's obviously had a lot of trauma with this, but he's even putting down the shooters. He's saying you shot all those 100 shots and you only killed one person in the car. But it is true. Unfortunately, his son, Boss Goon, did pass away. And Crazy K did survive, even being shot 3 times in the head.
Aftermath of the situation, Boss Goon Jr. is dead. Crazy K got shot in the head 3 times. And Abdul, you said that you had his brain matter in your hand?
yeah,
Okay. So he lost part of his brain in the shooting?
he didn't lose part of it that I know of. But you know, the brain is that muscle. And it knocked some of it out. It's not like a whole half of it gone. But I know for one thing it did. It changed him, and it made him really live up to his name, Crazy K. I tell you that much.
But he said his son really got hit in the head and survived. And I'm just saying what he said. He said part of his brain was shot out of his head, and his father had brain matter on his hands. It's crazy that he survived that. It's a blessing. It's a miracle, but it's also very messed up and traumatic. Now, this unfortunately created a situation where, you know, KSoo wanted to get revenge. He wanted to cause pain to those people and that group of people that caused him pain. And that's when we saw 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor, aka Bibby, end up losing his life soon after, allegedly at the hands of KSoo. He's still awaiting trial for this murder. But this was somebody that KSoo would diss frequently. He felt trauma over what happened to him and his family, and he pretty much dissed Bibby at every opportunity that he got.
Yeah, Bibby! That's what Bibby did!
So it's really no joke, all right? when you heard that song, Who I Smoke, Bibby's a real person, all right? Bibby's a child, 16-year-old boy that was killed. Jacksonville apartment complex, the Hilltop Village, is the scene of another deadly shooting, okay? And this is basically 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr., okay? He would have his life taken there, allegedly, by KSoo. Okay, it said a hard, cold rain mixed with tears Wednesday night as almost 100 family members and friends of 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr. huddled under a gazebo at the Hilltop Village Apartments, standing only a few feet from the spot where he was gunned down and died Monday afternoon. Okay, this was pretty brutal, but at the same time, it wasn't the end of it. Okay, KSoo wanted revenge for his brother that was killed. His whole family was shot. Hurt people. It makes sense. I'm not condoning the things that he did. I'm not condoning what the people did to him, but he went through that, and within a month, he was out there taking the lives of other people in revenge. And then a year later, in 2020, that's when KSoo would end up committing perhaps the murder that really was his downfall. It sounds like there's still going to be justice for Bibby after this, but really, it's when him, ATK, Scotty, and Butter would allegedly kill, well, not even allegedly, he's been convicted now, would kill another rapper called Lil Buck in retaliation for making a diss song about the January 2019 shooting. Okay, and they would basically pull up on him at a strip mall, kill him, crash their car, escape on foot, run into someone's house. They allegedly took a woman hostage. It was a mess. But this is how it went down.
Charles, was it Charles?
It was a frantic call for help made as bullets tore through a Jacksonville shopping center.
They shot Charles McCormick.
The caller, who can't be identified, told the court Charles McCormick, also known as Lil Buck, had just left her job after being hired. Despite the moment of chaos, the caller caught a glimpse of the alleged shooter.
He has a black mask on. He has on a skull cap. He's running across the parking lot.
I see that vehicle just pop out and it's gun in it.
Minutes later, off-duty JSO Officer Collins, another state witness, testified he saw a silver Nissan speed away from the scene. He followed the car, later identifying a man in all black getting out and possibly holding a rifle. But the defense says neither witness could actually see the shooter's face and questions their descriptions.
He described him as slender, 5'5" to 5'8" in height, wearing a black and gray hoodie and black sweatpants. He shrunk an inch. I don't even remember what our conversation was. Did I write that?
Defense attorneys argue that their client, Hakeem Robinson, stands well over 6 feet, while multiple witnesses estimated the gunman was much shorter. Another woman testified 2 men believed to be connected to the shooting burst into her home after the crime. She identified Dominique Bonner, now a state witness, but says she never saw the other man's face, who prosecutors say is Leroy Whitaker Jr.
So this was a very sloppy hit. And the reason why this went down the way it did was allegedly they were trying to get him at different locations. They couldn't get him. And then what ended up happening is they caught him at this job where he was, a job, I guess like a recruitment site. Okay. And they just said, you know what? We're not waiting. We don't have time. We need to just take this guy out now. We need our revenge right now. And they ended up sliding in broad daylight in a busy strip mall in front of a cop. And the whole thing was a mess, and they crashed the car. Now, during a Sage Cheese TV interview, Blue would recount the events right after the murder, when he was basically asked to pick up ATK, Scotty, and Butter after they had fled the scene and crashed their car.
He dropped the location. I look at it, and it so happened, the location probably is close by me. Anyway, I don't think it's no urgent because he didn't call it. Hey, ooh, I need to go 99999. So I ain't thinking nothing of it. I take the little chick all the way across town. Then I go back to pick up Scotty. When I get in the neighborhood, I see one police car. I pull to the location. I pull up in the yard, park in the yard. I call Scotty. I say, where you at? Well, I'm out here. He like, I'm coming. He like, I'm coming. Then one time I see the helicopter. It was like in a distance, but it did circle over that way real low. It was low enough for me to see the guy in the helicopter. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, nah, they ain't gonna call me for no bullshit anyway, So I wait about 10, 15 minutes in the yard, and they finally come out. When Scotty come out, Butter, Dominique, with him, but they got on pajamas. So I'm I'm thinking they're a little chick house, and they, parents that came home, they hide, and they gotta, get out, so they get in the car. They ain't come out the house running, they walk regular, get in the car. Now, mind you, I'm in my car. An orange Challenger, loud orange as fuck. They get in, we pull off. They don't get in and tell me, hit it. We get off, we get on Arlington Expressway, and they go to telling me what happened. Tell me that they got this, they had the old white lady in the house,
made her lay down, lay on the couch, all kind of shit. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
See, this is the thing, right? Like, they allegedly ran up in somebody's house. They stole clothes. They held this woman hostage. Like, this situation went from bad to worse to worse to worse to worse. They'd already committed murder, but it's just like you're just compounding the crimes at this point, okay? And realistically, like, they trusted KSoo's father, Blue, but they shouldn't have, really. They shouldn't have. They shouldn't have dragged him into this mess. They shouldn't have dragged him into this situation. They shouldn't have made him become the guy to say, okay, come and help us out of this situation. I mean, this guy ain't solid.
They tell me about, Scotty tell me about what happened. And now I'm like, fuck. In my mind, I'm like, I need to get these motherfuckers out of my car. But I'm not thinking like a really regular citizen pull over, put their ass out or nothing like that because of who called me. Crazy K called me. You know what I'm saying? I'm do whatever for him. He called me to go get him. I'm going to get him. So I go across town to Grand Park and I switch cars because now I do know what's going on. I don't know what's going on before I pick them up, but now I do know what's going on. I switch cars and I take them way out to my house. Take them out to my house. They change clothes. They give me the clothes. And I leave. And that's my dealing with them for that day. That's my dealing for them. And people.
So it's crazy, right? He got dragged into this whole situation, and now it's kind of like he's a big, big loose end. I ain't gonna lie, you a loose end to this situation now, okay? Now, Blue would tell Say Cheese TV, okay, in later on in this very same interview clip, 6 minutes in, he would tell Say Cheese that with the evidence piled up, he did what he had to do that was necessary to stay free and support KSoo from outside, and he insists he didn't snitch. He just told. Yeah, I told, but I didn't snitch. Now, it's going to be hard for everyone to hear this, okay? I kind of get where he's coming from. And he said it before. He's basically said, like, look, KSoo going down anyway. Best I could do is be out on the streets for him and the rest of the family. And he's not wrong. I know that's hard for all the street cats to hear, all right? But he's not wrong. And really, what's better? Just both of them just sat in jail doing life for no reason for the whole fam? And then you best believe that his other siblings ain't going to be doing no crimes after this. But hear what he said.
KSoo that day. I never see him that day. But the girl who went and picked him up, she testified. Ain't nobody talk about her. She testified that she went and picked him up. People acting like they didn't see. They took that same live with the same outfit. People act like they ain't seen none of this. They just act like I put this man in jail. I seen that it wasn't a way for him, me, or nobody to get out. So I got to play chess in this game here and get myself out of this to be in a position to help him later down the line. Because I still help him in whatever he need to be helped in. But I got to get in position. I can't do nothing. They know this, Buddy get caught that day, the same day. When they're in there fighting with the lady kicked Buddy in the nuts. And she see 1993 tattoo on Buddy's arm. So
that's a bad look, man. That's a bad look. You got I'm assuming that's his year of birth, but having that tattooed on him, bruh, that's a bad look. You identified now. Like, even just running it up in someone's house thinking you're going to control the situation, bruh, this is out of your hands.
When you go to jail, they're going to take pictures of all your tattoos. So they put together everybody who's supposed to have a tattoo. She picked Butter out. She can't pick Scotty out, though. But when the case come around and the trial come around, Scotty DNA, they done pissed in this lady's house. They done used the bathroom in this lady's house. They done drunk water in this lady's house.
God.
Wow. I didn't know. They peed in the house, drank water, bruh. Very bad.
They done fucking Scotty DNA all over the fucking front of this lady's clothes. Now Butter telling them that I came and picked him and Scotty up. That's collaborating all this evidence. But everybody's missing all this. It's just that somebody snitched. Somebody didn't steal. I snitched. I told. But Butter collaborated all this evidence. I got to miss me and KSoo got arrested the same day. I don't feel like I snitched. I told. It's a goddamn difference. Yeah, I told. I got to understand. I told. I'm on up to that. But
I kind of get where I'm not going to lie, I kind of get where he's coming from. So another interesting tidbit from one of Blue's interviews was that basically he spoke on what he felt like when he was behind bars facing these charges, and the word got around that Fulio, the biggest op of Ace's top killers, ATK, basically assembled to try and get back at Fulio for what he and his friends had apparently done to them. He said that he threw a full-blown pizza party behind bars when he found out about what happened to Fulio. Check this.
Shit, to be honest, that motherfucking voodoo ain't work, huh? That was it.
You felt you kind of joyful about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was joyful about it. Shit, we had it was about 4 or 5 more dudes in there. I ain't gonna call their names. We made pizza and nachos that day. Yep.
Full-blown pizza party, right? It's crazy. And it was a crazy way to hear the story end. And a lot of people, okay, felt some type of way about Blue doing these interviews, all right? It was going all over the various subreddits, right? They're saying this dude really took KSoo down and is now rocking the NHG chain, right? People cannot believe it. Close up of the chain, they cannot believe that No Hospital Gang is really wearing the chain. They're saying he got no shame. NHG, is this really who's representing y'all? They're saying the feds probably told him to wear it as bait. All right? This is the No Hospital Gang big homie. People saying, I know Say Cheese probably paid him a nice bag. People speculating it's 5 racks. Saying, I'd never seen this chain before. Apparently the chain's done the rounds. Okay, but this was not a good look for the No Hospital Gang. Okay, it's the last thing you would expect to see. And just the fact that he was doing these interviews was just going crazy. In Chiracology, they posted the clip from the interview where he's talking about Fulio's death and the pizza party that subsequently happened. They're saying, yeah, he's going to get a 20v1 next. They're saying goofy, right? Disgrace of a father, the audacity, right? How are they even giving this dude a platform? Like, it don't even sit right with him. He snitched on his kid and he really out here doing a whole interview run. They're saying he got to wear camouflage clothes for the rest of his lives. But he snitched on his own son and you're surprised he's doing this? It's messed up, man. They're saying he in his 50s feeling himself. When you got a dad like this, do you get a pass for all the dumb stuff you've done, knowing you was taught a lot of it from your own father? They're saying Say Cheese is part of the problem. He'd love to run to get the first interview no matter who it is. But hey, look, we was trying to hear this interview. I'm not going to lie. We was trying to hear this interview. I can't condone it, but it's like I do actually understand. I kind of get why this happened. Okay, I get why he did what he did. Maybe he didn't do it for the right reasons. Maybe he was dead wrong from the start. Come on, man. He was wrong back in the day. He was snitching on the cops allegedly. All of this type of stuff. Okay, he'll do whatever it takes to get out of a situation. And really, their biggest mistake was calling this guy after the shit went left. So that is the story of Blue doing the interview rounds. It is crazy. It's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to see this, I ain't never seen anything like this. So this is definitely a first ever world time exclusive Guinness World Record. The first ever man to snitch on his own kid and to go and do an interview run. So yeah, this shit crazy. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm going to do a few more breakdowns today. I've got a little bit more free time this evening, and I will be covering a whole bunch of madness that's been going down. So I'm a little bit behind. Some of the crazy stuff that happened today, you can tell I'm tired. Some of this crazy stuff that's happened today, I'll probably cover tomorrow and the days that come afterwards. And I'm really trying to decide if I'm even going to drop a video on Christmas Day. I want to drop on Christmas Day. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure what's going to be going on. Maybe there's going to be some kind of Christmas news, some madness going on around that time. There's always something, isn't there? So I'll keep you guys posted, man, and I will keep cranking out the videos for you guys if you want to keep watching them. Thank you so much for supporting. All of the motion recently has been very heartwarming. I'm very grateful to even be able to do this. It's my job, all right, to keep delivering you guys content and stepping on fools on the internet. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out, okay? Peace.